embraced the style, and I've always had this kind of desire to be an entrepreneur in real estate, so I took it. You know, I had lots of time to think about it. My division was being sold. I was
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Got it for free. White line was a thing.
Ever did anything else. But let me tell you, that was, not white line, was that probably the most famous concert.
I regret that. I regret not going to them, but I regret not going to kids. Just because I know they're such an entertaining. I like their music, but just fire, blood. Well, I think Gene Simmons used to fight those blood capsules, and they were running out his hand. He wasn't like Ozzy Osbourne with bit the head off. Birds. They don't make them like him anymore, I don't think. Oh, that got really personal there. Go ahead. You like Sandy Hagar? Well, this weekend, Prior Lake is a big music festival. He's a headliner on Rock in Alabama. Yeah. They have like 15,000, 16,000 people. They did the best over there. It's a lot of fun.
Are you part of Rotary?
I'm not part of Rotary, but I'm from a meeting about becoming part of Rotary at 4:30 today.
It feels like it.
I actually called on a prospect, the old mayor of Prior Lake, and we had a conversation about that. And I actually forgot the real one. Well, at Rotary, okay, we'll ask for our meet that door.
It's like you just came from the beach. Get your honey out there.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Not going to be as hot today. I think I can survive the sit down.
Yeah, a little bit overcast.
That's good to know. We've done a lot of business in Rotary with KW, and we refer them to something.
Oh, you have to meet John.
I caught him at a bad time. He was on his way to.
What's his name? John.
John
So I told him to, take his time, but call me back when you can. And then he said, okay.
Bring it in.
No,
It's gotta get this bad boy started.
I was like, man.
Yeah, what's good with the muffins?
He's like, keep cash for me.
Oh, geez.
Keeping it for a long time. I feel like that's what I feel like doing. So hopefully
Well,
we'll get
you
over
know
it.
what? That's I like that. You know, get back or
I'll keep it up then.
No, right here, baby. Here's looking good.
Have stuff back here.
The hair's looking good.
Not necessarily.
I'm sure it's like everything else. Back of your head.
I got him. I brought his.
I'll call him.
I believe my hair one was
175. I'll follow for sure. Thanks for that. Yeah. All right, we've got 2 people showing up that we can do today. I'll call on you in just a minute. Scott, you have a thing called bucket fill.
Yeah.
The right button. The right. Thank you. I don't even know what these are. I just passed them out. It takes a man to wear that shirt, man. Nice. Brian, how you doing? Wow, do we have a lot of Brian, thank you. This is getting comfy in the office. All right, everybody. It must be summer. Why must it be summer? Well, because we're getting started late. That's why it must be summer. Summer is one of those times. We're a little bit slower, but we're a little bit faster all at the same time. I want to start out by saying thank you to my friends at New American Funding. They have sponsored my portion of my wardrobe today. So thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I mean, what a fantastic time to be celebrating. The idea and concept of having freedom for everybody is amazing, and what an incredible day to celebrate for all of us. Matt, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to move on to some. No. You're the bucket guy. You're the bucket guy. Sorry. The bucket fills. Now don't hit it now because Jamie did it for you. All right. That's some bucket fills. We're going to start with my friend Jess here on the left. She's going to work across, go to bucket fills. We got a lot of bucket fills because we haven't done it for a while. So go ahead.
And I recognize the handwriting. I'm grateful for Jamie, and it's his own handwriting.
Yay!
I'm just
What do you
kidding.
got for me, ma'am?
I'm grateful for watermelon.
Grateful for, okay. There we go. Scott.
I'm grateful for the entire leadership team. They are the best.
All right. None of that in that bucket anymore. None of it. It's not, that's not what it's for. Here we go, Tasha.
Well, this one is what it's for. I am grateful for our agents.
That is what it's for. Thank you. Thank you. You want to read hers?
No problem. I'm grateful for Jamie.
Oh, heck.
Thank you for coming to KWPR.
Thank you, Jamie. I like that. Thanks for coming. Glad to have you here. Brian, what do you got for us?
I'm grateful for Grace being such a good teacher.
That is awesome. Hey, boy, that's what the bucket is for. Janice?
I am grateful for KWPR culture.
All right, that's an awesome thing. And this right here is part of that culture, thanking the people who make a difference for you.
I'm grateful for Jason A. for taking time out to help us strategize. Thankful and grateful for your wisdom.
Lies.
I'm grateful for God's protection in stores.
Well, got that. There were a lot of storms recently, so it's probably a good thing. Kim.
Dwayne, thank you for your creative thinking.
Thankful for Melissa J. Thank you for all of your support and happy hours.
Everybody over to your house is kind of a crazy thing to prepare for, even if not all of us show up. It's still a crazy thing to keep in mind. When you make an open invitation to 200 people, that any one of them or all of them could show up at your house is kind of an amazing thing. I'm not prepared for that, but that's a good idea. And thank you for doing that. Matt, we have my friend Matt, the winner of the last Spirit Award, here to give a new Spirit Award.
Jason so kindly pointed out to me I've held this title longer than anybody in KWP. 3 weeks I'm pretty proud of that. Thank you. Thanks. I don't see her here, but I want to give this to Karina Zapala. She does a wonderful job, always super positive, and taking on the admin mastermind is a great help to everybody here.
She could run right around the corner. I know she's hiding in there. She is absolutely hiding in there. I want to bring on our.
Woo!
Karina, our Spirit an award winner. Your speech is next time, but what a fantastic thing. If you guys haven't attended, the Admin Mastermind is available to admins. Anybody else is interested, usually last Tuesday of the month. And that way you can be part of that and learn more about how they do and how they succeed and help them make it to their next level. So I want to bring on a special guest, and I've been teasing this on Facebook if you've been part of that. I'm going to bring a special guest right now. Kathy Horgan is the founder of KeyPleaz, and she's going to talk a little bit about that and what it is and how it works and why we should all be very excited to have this in our market center. So without any further ado, Kathy.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be with all of you guys today. I spent 10 years in Minneapolis, and it is definitely a place that is very close to my heart. My grandparents lived in Brainerd for many, many years. So thank you for having me. As Jason mentioned, I am the co-founder of KeyPleaz. My business partner is a KW agent out of Georgia. And she was telling me about the lack of technology that exists today for busy and available agents. And so we put our heads together and we built KeyPleaz. And so I'm not sure, Jason, if I can advance or if you want to go ahead, I'll just go through these slides really quick and it'll all come quite clear. So we all know the problem. I'm sure every one of you in the room have experienced it. It's the 80-20 rule. 20% of the agents do 80% of the transactions and they desperately need help. And especially the agents who are not ready to build their own team, but need extra hands to be able to get a transaction across the finish line. We know that other 80% is dying for extra money and extra experience as they build their business. And let us not forget about the consumer, the buyer or the seller, who is now shifted to own or moving on to their second property. We know they represent over 50% of home mortgage applications. They've grown up with that cell phone in their hand and on-demand services at their fingertips. When we talk to them and say, you know, I know you want to get into a property very quickly. How do you feel about KeyPleaz? They get that they just want to get into that house quickly so they can get back to their agent and let them know if we want to put an offer on the property. So it's really, truly been a win, a win, and a win. A win for the hiring, a win for the showing, and a win for the client. So if you advance, I'll kind of walk you through. So this is what we did is we said, how do we leverage the power of an entire brokerage? Because we had these busy agents and the talents of available agents so that all agents could be more successful within real estate. What we have quickly found is that agents that use KeyPleaz are selling properties faster. They're selling actually 10 to 30% more properties, and available agents, the ones that are not as busy, are actually gaining success faster. And I'm not sure on the next screen, I don't know if this will be animated, but let's give it a try. So if you click to the next, will it just go away or will it come to life? Oh, it's going to come to life. Let's just say a client texts you. I'm dying to see this property at 123 Main Street at 3 o'clock today. But you know at 3 o'clock today, you're tied up. So you jump onto KeyPleaz. This is the interface. So I'm going to type in the address and see that little blue circle? That little blue circle is the property I need shown. All those orange keys are available agents in Keller Williams, Burnsville, that can open that door for you. So of course, immediately you're like, oh my gosh, there's people right around the property that can open the door. I'm so relieved. The other thing you can choose on this screen is you can actually send it to your favorite agents. Let's just say you have an amazing property that's listed in Uptown. It's a $3 million property. While you'd love a new agent to be able to open that door, you really need somebody that's a little bit more experienced. So you can actually create a list of your favorite agents. Let's just say agents that maybe have 10, 20 years of experience that you have familiarity with. You can actually create a list inside the app and send it to the favorites only or favorites first, or send it to all of your agents in the brokerage. So once I do that, an in-app notification goes out to all the agents to say, hey, there's an opportunity near you. You go connect, you show them the property, your buyers the property, you give important showing feedback back to the hiring agent, and you hit complete. And once you hit complete, payment automatically processes. And everybody's thrilled because the buyer got to see the property on their schedule. The hiring agent made sure that the buyer was taken care of, and the showing agent got some extra money and extra experience and some extra of awareness of those busy agents. So if you click to the next, awesome. There are 3 core capabilities on KeyPleaz. I can schedule an agent to help me with an open house, a home showing, or a runner activity. What typically people use for the runner activity is I need somebody to open the door for a contractor, or I need somebody to drop off a lockbox, or I need somebody to go in and take some videos or some screenshots or some photographs of a property. That's typically how runners are used. But I did say earlier, payment automatically processes. It processes through our payment provider called Stripe. And if you're not familiar with Stripe, I can almost guarantee you've used it. These are all the companies that use it, and they use it because of its high security. It's all embedded in the back end of all these different companies. We like it because it issues 1099s automatically for any agent that makes $600 or more. And also KeyPleaz doesn't hold any of the agent's financial information. It is all encrypted and hidden within Stripe. If you click to the next. So how much does it cost? So there's no fee to download. There's no fee to the brokerage. There's no subscription fee. You only are charged when you use the application. So the hiring agent is charged a 14.5% transaction fee. The showing agent, a small 2.99% fee. So for instance, let's just say I need somebody to drop off a lockbox for me in Forest Lake. So on that $30 transaction, I'm going to get charged a $4. So I'm going to pay $30 for a showing agent to do that for me. I'll get charged $4.35 from KeyPleaz. So my total charge on my credit card is going to be $34.35. That $30 is going to transfer over to the showing agent, and they're going to receive $29.10 once they pay that small 2.99% transaction fee. So they'll receive $29.10, and that's it. So they'll do that and that's pretty similar to what you find with Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of those other services. You click to the next. We also have support. So you should have received an email from our team this morning that says, hey, please sign up. We're so excited to partner with you. If you did not get that, please send us an email at support@keypleaz.com, and I'll put it in the chat again. And we'll make sure that you get it. Sometimes it does go to the spam. If you have any problems signing up, or if you're a brand new agent and you're not on the original roster, we can get you signed up. And we also love feedback. All of our innovation, whether it be the favorites feature, are coming from KW agents who leverage KeyPleaz. So keep bringing it on. We love it. And it actually makes us better, so we can provide a better tool for all the agents. Let's see the next slide. And that's it. You can go ahead and click to the next. Those just talk about the favorites that I just talked to you about. You can go to the, when you get signed up, you can go to the menu bar and you can create your favorites list. And also, let's just say on the next slide, you can also, another new capability is radius, which is if I am home, I can set my radius from my home address, and you just go into settings, set up radius, and there's where you can put yourself on GPS, or you can actually add an office location or your home location, whatever is most convenient for you. You can choose opportunities anywhere from 1 mile to 100 miles from where your location is. So I think that's it. Let me pause and see if I can answer any questions.
Who's got questions? Yes. Only for our office, correct, Kathy?
Absolutely. The only, sometimes we have different OPs who glue offices together for greater geography, but your office is all by itself. But only Keller Williams.
Do I have to, is there a set price for anything, or do I get to choose the price I'm offering?
Great question. The hiring agent chooses, because we all know that there's a very different criteria based on time of day, based on location, based on if it's one property or maybe it's 3 properties you need to have shown. So we want the hiring agent to make that selection. As a guide though, I will say that most If you have one property, and especially with the gas prices, it's running anywhere from $40 to $45 per home showing. But of course, if you're going to show a condo unit and there's 3 units in there, sometimes people are paying $75 for those 3 units. But it really depends on the dynamic.
Any other questions out there?
Is there an annual fee?
There is no annual fee. You only get charged when you use the app, when you're actually scheduling an opportunity. And this has been like a game changer. We've been in business for 2.5 years, primarily with Keller Williams. And I tell you, just being able to take a vacation, opportunities are claimed in about 10 seconds or less. It really speaks to when a brokerage and a market center signs up, and we have lots of agents helping, I'll tell you, they get claimed in seconds. And the buyers have been able to actually buy properties faster because they're getting in the door faster. And you can actually take a vacation. Imagine that.
People handle your stuff. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Thank you, Kathy, and we'll work on getting everybody signed up over here. And thank you very much for coming on and joining the meeting today.
That sounds great. And I'm going to stay on just for a little bit. If you guys have questions, I know some things are coming in on the chat. I'm going to answer those and then I'll drop off.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have, and I'm always excited to talk about cappers, and Matt's going to actually burn out his finger here today. We have so many cappers. We have 14 cappers. 14 cappers. We are honored to be in business with everybody, and these folks are showing, they have capped out and done some great stuff. So I'm going to go through them one by one. Taylor Anderson and Andy Coates. We got Selena Hager and Aubrey and Jimmy Leisure. They're on the team. Melissa Merseth and Krista Nelson. Megan Oren and Corey Polfus. Steve Rawl and Dawn Ramirez. Hannah Schleman and Danny Tudewall. Pazia and Cassandra Chavez. Let's give a big hand for everybody. What? That's a huge day. And I am excited about that. If nothing doesn't say what we're doing, that's it. Now, I've got a special guest. I call him special, but he's not, well, he is super special, but he's not really a guest. But he's going to come up and talk a little bit about growth. My good friend, Jamie Ogden.
First off, when I first heard about this job, one of the things they said, you'll be running meetings. Okay, that's cool. Then I started meeting with all you lovely people, and they're like, you're not going to run the meetings, are you? Jason does such an amazing job. So he loves yeah, but you're not getting rid of them, so sorry.
We're going to thrive on it.
But yeah, thanks for the opportunity to talk about growth. First of all, congratulations, another great month, everybody. Year to date is 147.
147, so 40, I mean, a third of that. Third of that last month. We are rolling.
And I get to take all the credit for it? No, 0. But, you know, something we'll talk more about when we have the panel about the Aaron Kaufman opportunity we had a couple weeks ago. But, you know, profit share is culture. So, you know, what does that mean? It means this is the only company where, you know, we are forced, whether we like each other or not, which we love each other, to take care of one another. So even if you're someone who's not right now enjoying the profit sharing opportunities and getting those monthly checks, it incentivizes all of us to grow this and to grow the monthly nugget for the office, because then we get more opportunities here. We get more, you know, Jason said he's gonna throw some more parties for us if we keep growing. Right?
You bet I will.
So, in short, I mean, that's a big part of the culture. But It's kind of the thing that we've put together here because in Burnsville, and part of when I was getting to meet everybody before I signed on here, we got a special place. This market center. I've known a lot of other market centers in my years, and they do a good job. But there's something special about here. So we got the Prefer Red. We're preferred. We're the preferred, but Prefer Red. Just to kind of do something to separate our identity, because this is a special identity on top of the profit sharing. So let's keep that in mind as we go forward. So again, this is a stakeholder meeting, and stakeholders, way to go. So give yourselves a round of applause. New agents, we have Caitlin and Scott. Scott. They are with North Star Commercial, and we're grateful to have them. First of all, Caitlin's not here, she's out of town, but it's her birthday today, as well as the other Caitlin, Caitlin Ball.
Oh.
So let's hear it. So a very special welcome, and we have one more. Chad Gannis, he's with the Amber Cedar team. So yes, welcome Chad. And look at this. Look at these beautiful people. All these anniversaries. Look at, okay. So 14 years for Bethany, 10 years for Sherry, 8 years for Brooke, 1 year for Mo. Where's Mo? I saw Mo somewhere. There's Mo. Monique, sorry. 4 years for Ashley. Amanda, 1 year.
I have definitely been here longer than 1 year.
Have you?
Then I was wondering here.
Burnsville. Prefer Red, remember? The Rookster. 2 years. 3 years for Kathy, 7 years for Tina. Let's hear it. All right, what else we got? Oh, this is just something we put together very recently. We're still waiting to confirm all this, but we're like, you know, where's there an opportunity for families to get to go to something and have a good time? And so it's on a Saturday in August. So just save that date. It's tentative right now. Why that date? It's far enough out, but it's also when the Twins play the Giants. And if you don't know, Victoria is nuts about the Giants. So that will be its own entertainment.
True.
And don't tell her, there's a guy that I used to train who's on the Giants AAA team, and then he should be called. Try to get him to come out and see it. And she will fall. So save the date, let's have a good time. Obviously, you've smelt the bacon. I mean, that's not fair. I mean, we're trying to hold a meeting and pick them.
Right.
It's like, let's go, Dave, not here. And the Hawaiian shirt contest, I think we got a couple early winners. And again, sorry, they asked me to bring some chairs. So I brought some folding chairs. The irony is, the real folding chairs are still in my garage. I totally forgot.
Well, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, that's I'll be back. But yeah, mega agent mastermind coming up. Let's keep going onward, moving onward. And Ignite, sparking a great career, Monday through Friday. That's going to be a heavy load of time, but man, I've been part of some of this already, and I'm very impressed. So take advantage.
Ooh, everybody's favorite time. Talk about withheld. Withheld. You know, what's on withheld today? We got a lot of withheld today. Withheld here, withheld there.
We're gonna auction them off.
Steve's got one. I know you're around there, Steve.
Woo, go Steve!
He's in his corner. He's hiding. Just kidding. How about that? Sarah, you want to talk about yours?
Sure. I can't see that far away.
It is $625,000. You better remember that.
I remember that. That is in the Cedar Isle neighborhood in Apple Valley. It's on the pond. It's been completely completely updated top to bottom. The roof is less than 24 hours old.
Gotta have a new roof.
The first rain.
Anybody else want to talk about their withhelds?
I've got one in Elko. It is an old house, like an early 1900s. It had a fire in like the 50s, rebuilt, but on a half acre, 2-car detached garage. It is currently a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but the upstairs is like it looks like a 2-story, but it's like 1.5 story. That could be, it was their family. People have been there 51 years. So it needs some updating, hence the price. But outside is really nice. Most of the windows have been redone. City water, city sewer will be coming on end of the month sometime in the next couple of weeks. And we're gonna go on at about 200,000. So if you have, I mean, that's a rarity. You have somebody looking for an entry-level home that's willing to do Elko, New Market.
Good.
I have a couple, one, a townhome in Lakeville over, if you know where the library is, and like Teresa's restaurant, Cub Foods and stuff like that. It's a 2-bed, 3-bath, 2-car end unit, we'll probably go somewhere right around the 300 mark. And she would love to sell it off market. And then I have a Farmington, I think it's a 5-bed, 3-bath, if I recall, 3-car. It backs up to, I can't remember what the name of the baseball fields are in Farmington off of Highway 3, but it backs up to the field. Built in 2012, and that's probably gonna be around 4.25.
Once, twice.
And it even says stakeholder meeting up there now. That's crazy.
Who's holding the stakes? Now I want to bring my friend Scott up to talk.
All right.
Hey, Scott.
Our new friend Scott has been talking about
Hey everybody, I'm Scott. Just a quick introduction today. We already saw Caitlin, it's her birthday, and she didn't even show up for the first team meeting in the office. But a little bit about Caitlin and myself up here on the screen. We're both newer to real estate. My story is I was with United Health Group for about 20 years, and I had a chance to leave. I really liked working for them, but I had a chance to kind of fulfill my kind of hidden dream of being an entrepreneur in real estate. So I'm coming from the Blaine office, even though I live in Prior Lake. So yes, my commute is way shorter now. And I love the energy in this team already, just from the meeting. So that's awesome. We'll try and be as involved as you all want us to be. And I would prefer that you guys tell us what you'd like to hear from us. There's nothing worse than blabbing a bunch of topics that everybody's rolling their eyes or checking their phones. But if there's anything of value that you have in commercial real estate, please let us know. We'd love to provide value to you and give you some information that might be helpful to you in your endeavors with your clients. So that's all I had for today. I just wanted to say a quick hello, and we plan on being here for all the team meetings.
Awesome.
Who I mentioned that, but I put it up there. He's a cereal bar guy in August.
I also noticed he drives the tailgating bus. I'm just gonna hop on because I live in Fairfield.
Everybody's welcome. Sounds like a hoop. We know where we're going on football Sundays. All right, my friends, Brian and Trey, my compatriots and squashers in Hawaiian Day. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at these guys.
I knew it was Hawaiian shirt, but I also thought it was selling this. I wear my Tom South mask.
He'll signing autographs later.
Okay,
We'll let that one go.
Great. Tom South? No, I didn't.
All right, I'll take it from here. So a lot of you guys have been asking about our July content calendar, so we finally got it out there for you. I posted it in the Facebook group. What the content calendar is, it's supposed to give you guys, some content ideas to, take the thinking out of the equation when it comes to marketing and coming up with, different posts, every day. So we like to try to take that, provide something for you. So I posted that in the Facebook group. And then I wanted to talk to you about our Instagram class next Thursday. It's gonna be from 11 to 12. And so July 14th, and it will be posted in the Facebook group as well. If anybody needs a link for that, I'm happy to send that out. And I'm gonna try to set it up in here if nothing's going on. I haven't checked the calendar yet for July, but if nothing's going on, I'll try to get it up here if anybody wants to wander in here on the Thursday at 11 a.m. So, and then if you ever need any one-on-one help, feel free to reach out. You know where my office is, and I'm happy to work one-on-one with anybody. You can set up an appointment and go over any of your marketing needs.
Good, thank you. So I wanted to talk about a couple of quick things. Interest rates are, kind of have a nice little dip down the last couple of weeks. Might be a good opportunity to check back in with some buyers who maybe checked out. Rates are going up, they've been priced out of the market. Maybe that's coming back around, and it might be a reason to chime back in with them, get them back motivated to buying a house. I also wanted to talk about our recast program. It's, we got a cash buyer program, which is great if there's multiple offers, but in a seeing things shift, we actually had a deal, one of you, and we got 3% seller pays, which it's been years since we were able to do that, so it's definitely shifting. But if you've got a house to sell and you want a contingent, or you make a contingent to buy the new house, that still isn't working these days. And so what we have is a recast program where they can buy first and then sell later, all right? And some of the stipulations for it, you need to qualify for both the first, the new mortgage and your old mortgage. A lot of our customers do, all right? And if they do, they can make a non-contingent offer, buy this house and then sell later, all right? They do have to put 5% down out of their own assets. They have to come up with that. And so at some point in the future, let's say 2 months later, they finally do sell their old house. Now we're going to take that cash, the net proceeds, and apply it down onto the new mortgage on the new house. And then we're going to recast that mortgage down. We're going to re-amortize it down to the lower principal balance. And usually, knock on wood, we're going to now we'll have at least 20% down on that new mortgage. The principal and interest payment will drop, and we'll get rid of the mortgage insurance. Now, we did that first, initially we bought it 2 months ago with 5% down. It had mortgage insurance. It's temporary. It's gonna go away because now we're gonna take that chunk off from the old house, apply it onto the new property, lower that principal balance down below 80%. So it's a good way to get your buyers into a house where it's going to be the best shot that you've got to get them into a house. That's what I have to say about that. Yes.
How long do you have to do the recast? Is it like a maximum length?
So there's no actual limit. It's usually used for this purpose, buy and then sell later. But as long as it's a minimum of $5,000, we'll allow 3 years later, you can, I got an inheritance, $10,000. You can apply it and recast.
Wow.
So but the main reason for us would be buy first, then sell. Yeah. And non-contingent. Actually, that's the big reason. We want to make a non-contingent offer. Yes?
Would it recast at a new interest rate?
No, the rate's the same. It's just going to re-amortize based on the lower principal balance after you apply the cash. All right, and any questions on this or anything else, you know where to find us, and yeah, Dean.
Way off topic, but can you take like 3 seconds, a minute, and just talk about long-term lock options, what that looks like for anybody who maybe has construction buyers on riding the fence?
Yeah, and back to rates, I listen to a lot of podcasts, I'm on Zoom calls, and knock on wood, hopefully it'll flatten out here. Even a month ago, we'll be over 7 by the end of the year. And hopefully we're flattening out. But as far as a long-term lock, the standard lock is 30 days, and it costs more for 45 days, and it costs more for 60 days. And I'm talking real money out of your pocket at the closing table to be able to lock for an extended period. Once you go over 60 days, there can be upfront fee, depending on how far you want to go out. I would say rarely does it make sense, although 4 months ago, it probably made sense. I don't know, even now, moving forward, it might not, but there's upfront fee, usually 0.5% of the loan amount. And, instead of locking at 5.75, you might be locking at 6, 7, 8. All right, so the rate's gonna be higher, but, if rates have gone up 3% in the last 7 months, so it probably would have paid off back then.
And the upfront is applicable to then your closing costs at the time?
Yep, but if it's non-refundable either, so if you end up bailing on it, you lose it.
What's the max, 6 months?
Yes. Yep. Aloha.
How fun are those guys, right? Always exciting stuff. Everybody loves the money talk. It's so fun. And being able to deliver it though without making all of us fall asleep is a gift. So, at least for me, I'm not a money guy. Details, what are those all about? But I do want to bring up some of my friends and have my friends dance. There we are. Some of my great friends. I'm going to bring up my friend Candace. Red shirt. We're going to talk today about the KWEffect, which a lot of us attended a few weeks back. Candace, Dean, up the back row, and my good friend Jamie. We're going to talk a little bit about this great presentation that Aaron Kaufman presented to us, and kind of what we learned. Because, not everybody can make those kinds of things. So we want to make sure we get you the same kind of interest and value. Candace, I'll stand.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. I also want to point out that last time I was here, I put John Hofmeister right there and I put the light right in his eye. So that wasn't super nice. But we can work on that. We can get better at that kind of thing as we go, right? We don't have to. All righty. So, Candace, we'll lead off with you. And if you guys don't know, Aaron Kaufman's a speaker. He's been around with Keller Williams for a long time. And what Aaron Kaufman talks about is how to make profit share work for you. And profit share is something that all of us have the opportunity to take a part of. And it is the foundation, the ultimate foundation of Keller Williams culture is profit share, in that we all have a vested interest in seeing each other succeed in a way that any place I've ever worked, it's always competitive. And that's not that we're not competitive. It's that there's an incentive at other employers to be better than the person next to you rather than help them. Where helping isn't something you want to do. In fact, it's against your own best interest to help somebody else when you work for a big company, right? Or even some other brokerages, because you're basically telling your competitor how to get better at what you do. Where at Keller Williams, because you're part of the profit share, and if you sell a house, Melissa, and I've got profit share, I win too. I win every day, and everything that I can contribute to every person in here helps every person in here win as well. And that's what Aaron Kaufman talks about. So I'm going to start out with Candace first. Candace, what was your biggest takeaway from the Aaron Kaufman presentation?
My biggest takeaway was when he said, people don't buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. And so it just, I don't know, your listing presentations, why we're here at Keller Williams and what it does for us. People buy into that more than, where or what we do it. So why behind it.
So, how about you, Jamie? What was your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway was, for me, it was actually afterwards, I got emotional because after being here for, going through the process and getting to meet Olivia and learning more about KW, and, for me, it was started hitting me. It's like, God, why did it take so long for me to be part of this company? But Aaron made it clear that the real estate industry started out with the dependent companies. So that Nothing wrong with that, you know, the Edinas, the Colwells, the independent companies, and that's where I was with Edina Realty. Then I went to an independent company. Those companies, you know, like Remax, mine was World 2-1 Group. You know, where the agent gets more money, they're more independent. However, both lower, but both of those two are brand centric. So it's all about the brand. It's the hot air balloon. And what I also had learned in being in the independent mindset is you want to promote the brand so that the local owners can get your leads and give them out. They're spending millions on the brand, hoping they drive by your listing and just call the office. And so part of their thought process is it's the brand that we're going to get the money and then we're going to get back leads. That was just difficult for me, but the biggest aha is that we're interdependent, and that's where I was grateful that I had the independent moment so that I could be more available and aware for you, as well as people that you recommend join our team. I'll understand better where they're situated. So I'm grateful for that. And the other big aha was just that how, even though some other companies are trying to mimic KW, and I looked deep into them before I came here, they are trying to be us, but they're trying to be us when we're here. Like, we're here, and they can't get there. And I just, that hit me so hard. We've gone from being agent-centric, we're gonna be client-centric way more than anyone else, which is agent-centric. It's gonna make clients stickier for you and KW agents. So,
well done, sir.
Thanks. I needed the affirmation.
Well, we all almost start with some of the same things, because my ahas were very similar to what you started with and what you kind of finished with too. I think he opened up with his story, which was very powerful, and kind of parlay that into his big why. And we've talked about our big whys here. So it's a core tenet of how we operate here, what differentiates us. But kind of like demonstrating, like he did on the board, about how operating inside out. You know, usually people take an approach with their what and then their how, and finish with their why. I think how we all got here in the first place was centered around our why, who we are as people, our stories. I think that it changed the way, just like you said, how you everything from your listening presentations to the way you have clients to talking to other agents about KW in general. Really, that's what drives the whole bus, and it humanizes us, and it makes people realize that we're here for something outside of ourselves. So I thought that was a very key part of the whole thing. And what you would say too about kind of really step back and look at it from 10,000 foot view of our industry, but yeah, the whole dependency, independent company, the independent company, and the interdependent company, that kind of tie a lot of what differentiates us together from that station. I love the fact that we share our stories, and mine's all over the place. I've bounced around this industry for 25 years almost, and understanding that I'm doing what I want to be doing, where I want to be doing it, exactly. And I've now achieved a place where I can't find any reason to leave it. But I also love what he said, which is bold. He said, we are here to build lifestyle, a lifestyle for ourselves and our families. And if there's somebody else doing it better, because I'm already, or that is exactly, and it's bold to stand up and say that. It tells you that that's where our loyalty really lies to our families, and to what kind of lifestyle we want. So this is where we are, and this is where we want.
So I'm pulling a couple points here, and because not all of you were able to be there, one of the great things he talked about is a book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And if you're not familiar with that, I promise you it's one of the best quick YouTube videos you can watch. And what he talks about is so many companies want to tell you what, but the companies you truly do business with, the companies you truly want to be part of and pay attention to, are the ones who talk about why you do business with them. And so that was a big part of his thing and what Dean was talking about there. So I'd recommend, if you get the opportunity, Simon Sinek, Start With Why. It's a great book, good video, fantastic stuff there. Candace, what have you either started doing differently, or what do you think the next thing is you're gonna do, based on what you found out?
Definitely with listing presentation, that kind of sat with me really well, just starting with the why, like why we do this, and then, how we're gonna get it done, and then just kind of move into what we're gonna do. And so still taking the inside out approach.
So why would I do business? I mean, you've had a few minutes to think about it, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, but why Candace as an example?
Oh. You know what? To create lasting relationships by being the neighborhood expert, to get your home sold for more is what he
I mean, it's weird, but you have to think about that. It seems self-explanatory to you, but if you take a minute to think about that, and I sometimes use this example when we're talking about PC program and they're all here and they're taking their class, and I say, what if the person walked in the door right now and said, I'd like to buy a house? All right, well, I'm gonna put you in front of all 5 of you and you guys gotta make a pitch. Why would they pick you? Why would somebody pick you? And you've got great answers. Take a minute to think about it so you can share that in your listing presentation. Jamie, what would you do next? Or what have you already started doing differently?
What we started doing differently is, Aaron really made it clear. Well, first of all, the why, there's also one other level to that, that's the who, and that's Gary. Before coming here, we hear a lot about the Kool-Aid. They try to categorize KW people as Kool-Aid drinkers. Well, there's a reason that we're so into it, and that's the stakeholder. But then there's Gary. I mean, he's pretty much the person fighting for every realtor, regardless of company. So we're not just door openers fighting the big companies. So we have a who, but I want to make sure we started a little calendar to make sure that we keep reminding ourselves the who that we are, but then to keep also reminding us that we're stakeholders and what that means and how we can, we said the 4th of July, freedom. We want freedom, right? I want freedom for every one of y'all so that you can be free to do what, from my perspective, what God puts on your heart to do. If you're stuck in the rat race, you don't have that residual coming in. You're less apt to be able to do that. So that's my job, is to free you all up.
I have a guest panelist. My friend Amanda was at the panel and something just jogged her memory. What comes to mind?
It just prompted me to think of how he said, at KW, the agent is the biggest asset, not their brand. And it really stood out to me, even though I kind of knew it, but to how they encourage us to brand our own businesses. And, you don't just have our name hanging from the bottom of a KW sign. We have, just basically they give us all the tools and the go-ahead to brand our own businesses, which really makes us the biggest asset, and not their brand. Just shows you where we're different than everybody else. And I knew that, but yet it really stood out, and I kind of started thinking of everyone in our office and all our different businesses and our signs. And you go see, like a Remax sign or Edina, you don't see their company signs, with the little brokerage on there. You see Edina, you see Remax, and how they encourage us to really build our own business, and they're trying to give us the tools to do that. It's just a really cool thing.
It's incredible to work in a place where they encourage you to be independent. I mean, that's a crazy thought. And it goes back to what Jamie was saying about the who, right? I mean,
If you haven't listened to Think Like a CEO, which is Gary Keller's podcast, I recommend you take a moment in this time and just throw it on in the car sometime. Fantastic information out there. But one of the things he talks about so consistently is systems and models. Somebody's already done the journey you're doing. You don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to do it the first time, and you don't have to do it yourself. He's already created a path, shows you how to do it. Literally, here's how I did this. He shares it with you, which is crazy to think about that, because who does that at that level? Dean, what are something that you're maybe doing differently, or the next thing you have in mind?
And to add to what Amanda said, it never even occurred to me until it was said that KW does not spend any money on advertising KW. Like Phoebe just like scratch my head, is that true? Yeah, actually, that's exactly how we are structured, and that actually makes sense that would be, the resources are all funneled to us.
There are no Super Bowl ads? Not on Saturday morning cartoons? That's a good call, man. But think about that.
Yeah. Things we're immediately implementing. I really, back to the core point of the whole visit by Aaron Kaufman was really profit share, and so it spurred me on to really kind of perfect my 90-second elevator pitch, I guess, as far as like from the heart, with leading into your why, but also it's something about your story, but also just being able to talk to other people within our industry that we respect or are impressed by, or we really could see them fitting really well here. It's really getting that down, that 90 seconds, and then pass the baton to this guy, so, because, without profit share, there's no culture, is that what the saying was?
Profit share is culture.
And it's an astounding opportunity. I'm shocked here only 35% of agents currently are using profit share. And the opportunity for the 401 KW, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to parlay ourselves out of a transactional income. And the exit strategy in this business is huge. It's huge.
So to participate in profit share, you need to have one person in your profit share tree. Is that the technical, that's how you participate?
Okay, start with the first one.
And then, obviously, Jamie will go on, and we'll talk more about that in the coming months of how the dynamics of that. We bring it to you every so often. But one of the things Jamie mentioned, I didn't really hit on, is he talked about calendar, and we're continuing to change. I shouldn't say change so much as add to the calendar base that we've already created now, where we've got all these things going on Wednesday. Now we're starting to build it out because we're seeing that there are opportunities to bring more things. And Jamie's got a great idea on how we can organize that format and see more stuff brought to you guys on a regular basis. And one of the things I'm most excited about, and I know you guys are most excited about, and I'm putting it out there right now because it's fresh in your minds, but we're gonna offer CE classes earlier, and more frequently, earlier. All right? Want to get that ball rolling a little sooner so that weekend before you can maybe enjoy your life. Candace, if you wouldn't mind, how did this presentation change your thoughts about the team and where you fit in the team?
I mean, it just brought to, like, I don't wanna, I eventually wanna not be able to show houses and still have income in real estate, so.
I like that idea. I want to show houses and make money.
But it changed my, because I guess profit share was never, like, we hear it in the office all the time, profit share, Steve Rawl, I mean, you look at his profit, like, man, okay. So when he said, like, get my unfair share, I'm like, well, I want my unfair share. So I don't know, it just kind of changed my whole perspective and thought process just on profit share in general.
It's amazing because he talks about that, exactly what Candace says. Aaron Kaufman does not sell homes. That's not his job. He recruits people. That's all he does. So I'm good at recruiting. I'm just gonna go sell people. And that's crazy at that thing on the concept of how great Keller Williams could be for their income and their career and their opportunities, right? That they're gonna go out there and sell the idea of what we do and make that part of their life and their business. And instead of being involved in the real estate business, per se. So that's a crazy thing. Jamie, what have you changed your thoughts about? Or how you fit into the team, where you belong?
Hopefully for you guys, I don't. You guys don't want to be fit in with my mentality. No. Like I said, just with the background that I've had now, and then also understanding better too, profit share versus revenue share is a big deal. So really look into that because there's a company that's trying to copy this one. They're doing an okay job. They can't, but the revenue share, they're focused on their downlines. Profit share, we're focused on everybody. We benefit from helping everybody out. And the thing that blew my mind about that too was I have 7 people in my downline. Someone leaves or something happens, I'll move up. The other company, when it's revenue share, I think the company hopes that one of your big legs leaves because they take that spot. Think about that. You're growing your downline, you got a great guy like Dino on your team, and he's rocking, he's recruiting everybody because it's more about recruiting in revenue share than it is actually selling, although you have minimums, but he decides to go somewhere else. Those 40 people, that company takes his spot. I mean, we'll move up. I lose all of it. I was just, they're genius. But man, they're screwing the agents. So anyway, the profit share, comparing those and learning about that actually even before the meeting when I got to talk to Aaron made a big whoa.
And that structure, who we will not name. Also, really, when you look at it from a big picture, it's set up to really benefit the top 1%. The top 1% icons that are out there. The killer model is one of the, we created that wheel up there. One of the arms of that wheel was, we're all equal here. I mean, it's structured like that on purpose. The way our capping system works, profit works, it benefits the company. Everybody is contributing to something. It's less prone to a large disparity in wealth, and without KW advertising their own brand, basically, which some of them do that and then shuffle those leads on to their top producers. It creates a pretty big gap, which kills culture, really. So, sorry, I'm jumping on what that was good. As far as the team piece goes, like I said, I've kind of bounced around quite a bit over the years. Go in here and you invest in each other in the systems that have been created for us. All the tools are here. You just have to pick them up. I think that's an important thing to understand. You can't, if you're here, you can't lay awake at night wishing you had the pieces in place to succeed. Because everything exists here. You just have to ask for it. In a very supportive, collaborative environment. The broker won't yell at you.
One of my assistant guest panelists, way in the back, Scotty.
So as Dean said, we're a company of systems and models, but also of scripts. And the KWEffect only exists because we realized KW agents didn't really understand the value proposition of being at KW. And so like my big takeaway is I can't just be like, oh, we have great culture, our office is so amazing. It's gotta be more than that. And not that we're supposed to be recruiters, we're supposed to pass those on to Jamie, but I want to get better at my value proposition being a part of KW, where I can have my 90-minute elevator speech, not only for my clients of why I'm the one to pick, but also to other agents of why KW might be something worth taking a second look.
I'm just gonna finish up and we can go enjoy some wonderful stuff here in just a second. But I just wanna finish up by saying it was a great experience to have him talk. And for me, I came here because I bet on myself. I bet on another company providing for me for a long time. And I realized it was time that I bet on myself. Every day I went to work at an enormous company, they would say to me, you need to treat this business like it's your own. That's the only way you're ever gonna succeed. And it was like, okay, well, that's sensible,
Like the guy
right?
from Princess Bride?
Yeah, he was there. And it's like, what? I don't quite get it. And so then one day you wake up and you go, well, if I'm good enough to do that, why wouldn't I bet on me? If I'm good enough to run this business like it was my own, why wouldn't I run a business that is my own? And the crazy thing is, it's all laid out. It's all given to you in terms of what you need to do. Some of it is not complicated, but it is hard, and it takes effort and challenge, and you have to do those things to be successful. But it takes something from you to do that, and it's given to you, and you've got a plan, and it's in front of you. And the great part about this plan is that since I have been here, every single person in this room has contributed something to me that I have learned and been able to take away. Every single person in this room, individually and collectively, has given me something that I can benefit from. And that is the KW culture. And by the way, Jamie, that's Prefer Ed.
Hey.
I have one more guest panelist who wants to speak.
Sorry, last, I just wrote down a couple things. Just as Aaron was talking, I think it was like a 3-hour thing, and he didn't talk about money until like the last half hour maybe. Yeah. And that's not what it's about. And you know, and like Jamie said, people get to the Kool-Aid and all they want to do is recruit and that sort of thing. And sure, maybe, because we have an amazing company, you know, and we have an amazing brokerage. So it's not necessarily about the money. It's about helping other people to come here and get out of our brokerage what we're getting out of it. Also, he talked about 8 brokerages there. We are equal, you know, we all pay in the same amount of cap, you know, and that sort of thing, versus some of the other places. If you do good business, maybe you've got a 90-10 split versus a 60-40 or something like that. And all the, you know, any leads that come in the front door go to those agents with the 90-10 cap. And Aaron gave an example of, he was talking to somebody who's at that high end and, oh, isn't it great, you know, or you benefit from this or whatever. And she's like, well, yeah, but everybody resents me. You know, all the other agents in the office resent her because, you know, she's making this, she's got this great split, but the people who are making less and getting fewer leads from the brokerage, you know, kind of hold it against her. And then also just one thing, and Jason mentioned the Think Like a CEO podcast. One thing you'll hear Gary share, if you didn't already know this, is that when he started Keller Williams, he also was doing revenue share and realized it's not a sustainable model and therefore went to profit share. So, you know, all this revenue share, yep, sounds great. But again, like Jamie was saying, you lose somebody below you and you've lost everybody below you. Where at Keller Williams, it just moves up. So you're the one still benefiting, not, you know, the top dogs at the very top. So that's all I got.
So we've got stuff and food, but we need to bring it downstairs because outside in the parking lot, and who doesn't want to hang out in a hot parking lot on a day like today? I know I do, but hey, it's free food, so who can beat it, right? Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for a tremendous month, and looking forward to the next one. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome, I would love to interview.